Hello and welcome to CSE 492, the second part of our capstone project. In this video, I'm just going to go over what we're going to do this semester. So just like last semester, everything that you need to know is right here in this website, capstone.cse.sc.edu. Check it out. That's where we are right now. The video will be right here. So you want to watch this video, you're doing that now, good. And you want to read the 492 syllabus. And this is for new people. So some of you are taking 492 and you did not take 490 last semester, so you're taking them out of order. If that is you, you have to email me your GitHub username right now. So again, you can go to the syllabus here, and there's the instructors. That's me. That's my email address, Hossein Vidal. So just send me an email with your GitHub username. Once I do that, then I will put you in a team and you get an email or a notification from GitHub. And that'll be that. Then you can, meet your teammates and start working on your project. If you lost somebody in your team, you have like 3 people in your team, you will probably be getting a new person. So that's how I do it. I typically, I'm going to first put people in any teams that have less than 4 people. And then after that, just randomly among the teams of 4 people, the goal being to make all the teams either 4 or 5 people. So do that today so we can get everybody assigned. Then this is our discussion repo, just like last semester. You can click here, you can click up there too, go to the discussion, just have that there. But make sure you watch that. Remember, you hit code and watch so that you can get notified. GitHub will notify you when I post new announcements. And there will be stuff posted there over the semester that you need to know. So watch that repo, and then you can see the deadlines pages. So this is what we're going to be doing this semester. Make sure you reload the pages like if you were here, last semester. Make sure you reload so you get this semester's deadlines and dates, because I've changed them from last year, obviously. So January, like I said, send me your email, and then hopefully by Thursday I'll have all the teams assigned, so everybody will have a team. Then the first thing you'll be due, like 2nd of February, so during January, you'll be working on your testing milestones. So that's the first thing. So what is this quickly? This is testing, meaning automated testing, as in you're writing code that tests your code. So this milestone, you see, has 2 due dates. It's a little bit weird, but so the idea is that on the February 2nd, the first thing you need to do is you're going to go out and figure out, what are the libraries that I need for doing all this automated testing? Which ones are we going to use? So you do some research based on your platform. This is going to be different. Pick some, download them, install them, learn to use them, get them set up, write a test or 2, and that's what's due by the end of February. And then once you have that working, then during the semester, as you're writing your code, the idea is that you will be adding more and more tests, automated tests. So you add some code, then you write a test that tests, that new feature, and check that in. And so by the end of the semester, we're going to go back and look at your test folder where all your test code is, and we're hoping to see a lot more tests. So that's how they work. Just a little bit about this one is I divide the test into 2 types. You have unit testing and what I'm calling behavioral testing. Unit testing is when you write code that, your test code actually calls the code, a function or a method in your program code. So your test code actually calls functions of your code, your program. That's unit testing. You've been doing that, 240 and 247 and other classes, I'm sure. So you're going to do more of that. That's useful, when you have a big function that you want to make sure that that actual function does the string manipulation or does the math correctly or whatever it is doing. Behavior testing is when you write code that tests your program like a user. So your code is like kind of pretending to be a user in some way. And, you're clicking buttons or entering stuff or, doing something that user, and then gets responses back from your program that's running independently or, fairly independently. So this goes by many names: behavioral testing, UI testing, other names. And it's gonna in order to do this, you're gonna need some framework, some other program that helps you, write code that just uses your program. So if you have like a web app, you can run your web app in your browser, and then there's all these libraries that you can use that let you, click, that you load this page, go to this URL, click here, and then you should see this. So they let you write code that like that. If you're doing an Android or an iOS app, they have their own libraries, again, depending on which particular framework you're using, whether you're using React Native or, native Android and iOS. They all have their own frameworks, and usually they're actually pretty set up already. So it's already there. You already have a test directory in your folder. You just probably have not looked at it. But now, you need to go and read about it and learn how to use it and learn how to write those tests. So that's behavioral testing and unit testing, and they're done. We have the 2 deadlines. So that'll be due early February, then the beta release early March. So next month. The beta release is your first, your second time. So you did one last semester, your proof of concept release. Now your beta release is where you implement your core functionality. So the thing that your program does, it needs to be doing. So if you're writing a game, this needs to be a playable game. So, like the core of it needs to be there. The core you need to be able to go through, play it, your core functionality should be there. If, the player jumps and moves, that should be working. So maybe, it doesn't look as good as you want it to in the final one. Maybe not all the mechanics are there, just the main ones. And maybe, the small stuff is not there. That's fine. But, the beta should have the core functionality. Another example is like if you're writing an email program, it should send and receive emails, right? You should be able to write an email and get it and receive it. So maybe it doesn't do attachments, and maybe the threading is not implemented, and the smaller features might not be there, but the core functionality is there for the beta. And as you can see, like all the releases, you're going to use GitHub issues. You're going to set up, these are my beta issues, associate them with the beta milestones, and those are the ones I'm going to approve, and you're going to do them. And then we're going to check on them. So that's the beta release. And then a month later, you have your release candidate 1 release. And this is really your complete release. At this point, you're done adding features. So that's the point of a release candidate, is to say, okay, we're done. This is it. And, you're hoping that you are actually done. Of course, we're never done. There are always bugs, right? So the hope is that between this release, RC1, and your final release, which is the 1.0 release, it should all just be bug fixes. Right, so anything you do after this, you're hoping it's only going to be bug fixes, and hopefully small ones too. So that's the hope, and that's how we're going to be grading it. We're going to be looking for a complete, fully working, everything should be there app. And what we're also going to do then, I'm going to take that RC1 release, and then for the quality assurance milestone, we're going to take that and then give it to another team. So similarly, you're going to get another team's app and you're going to test it. You're just going to, use it, test it, and then you're going to go to their issues, GitHub issues, and add all the bugs you find. So you're going to found this problem, found this problem, found this problem. And then they're going to fix it. So that means, you're going to be getting bug reports, and you're going to be fixing those bug reports. All this is happening, during the last week of classes. So, the last month, sorry, not the last week. So that's the quality assurance. You just test your other teams once, and similarly, somebody's going to be testing yours on top of the test that the TAs and I did for the 1.0 release. The RC1 release milestone. You also have a website to do. This is a simple, GitHub Pages website, sort of, advertising your app. So read over that. And then the 1.0 release is April 28th. That's the last day of classes this year. So it's going to be just like last semester. Everything's going to be due on the last day of classes. The final, app, what we're looking for, again, it's a professional quality app, fully functional, so a lot of features. It has to look good too, if you want an A. So it has to look good, have a lot of features, be professional, so, and the way these things work is, your core functionality usually takes less time than all the other little things. The little things, you probably know, take often longer to get it right, just to get them to work, than the big stuff. So just plan for that. Start making it look good early on and start implementing, making sure that your core functionality is solid. At the same day, you have the final demo. So this is similar to what you did last semester. It's a little bit different. One big difference is that the grading is individual this semester. So that means that everybody has to say something. So make sure you divide things so that everybody participates for a little bit, a minute each person or a minute or two, so you can get to like the 10, 15 minutes that we want. No more than 15, that'll be too long. So yeah, that's individual grading. It's for that, and then you turn both of those in the last day of classes. Going back to the milestones, the deadlines over here. You can see that all these things are due in the last week of classes. Also, even after that, don't forget, you still also have to do, this will be the Tuesday after, the peer reviews, where you review your peer members, the other people in your team. And then there's going to be the senior survey form. That's not part of this class. That's like a department thing, but they want you to fill that out. I'll be posting that. These are not there yet, but I will be posting that towards the end of the semester. So that's it.